The Pittsburgh Penguins may have found a hidden gem, and it came from the Jake Guentzel trade last trade deadline, a trade that people criticized openly, but the players from that trade are playing exceptional, and so did Sidney Crosby last night, leading the Penguins to victory over the Utah Hockey Club. I don't need to tell you that because you already know that. What I will tell you is how it happened, how it all went down, game recap, and another prospect update because Ville Koivunen went bonkers last night. So did Vasily Ponomarev. So we're going to talk all about it. Pittsburgh Penguins, baby Penguins, both winning last night. We have so much to cover on this episode of Penguins Digest. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel for the latest news, rumors, updates, and analysis regarding your Pittsburgh Penguins. We love this team and we love seeing them win, and last night was well overdue. They lost 3 in a row, and then they went into Utah. I have an analysis, so we're just going to get into it. The Penguins won. That is the moral of the story, is just getting the W, finding a way to squeak one out, something they couldn't do against the Sharks, regardless of how many chances they had to win that game or to score goals even. Last night, they took advantage of opportunities. Not a lot of opportunities. They only scored 3 goals, but they won the game. That is the most important thing, is getting a W, and they were able to do that. So now we get to talk about how it happened. And the Penguins' final score, 3-2, Sidney Crosby, overtime winner. I'm going to start in the first period. I'm going to tell you my detailed analysis, my breakdown as I'm watching this game. I'm writing all this down. So let's just go over it real quick, and then we can get into the prospect update. First period, Letang and Karlsson, ugly turnovers. Letang literally cracked the puck right to the other team, and they entered the zone. It was really bad. Erik Karlsson made a great defensive play and then turned the puck over. It wasn't great, and it was very ugly. And then Brian Rust making a mental mistake, icing the puck, clearing it into the opponent's end before he crossed the red line. It was just a mental error for Brian Rust. You don't see that very often, but it just kind of told you where the Penguins were mentally at that point in the first period. Was not good. Alex Nedeljkovic actually tripped over himself in his own crease as well. It was very hard to watch. I was like, what is happening with this team? We're literally falling down all over the place. We're icing the puck. We're turning it over. It was not pretty, guys. It was not pretty. I swear we went 10 minutes without getting a shot on goal. I'm not even exaggerating. Utah got the first goal. One of their best players, Mikhail Sergachev, cashed in. It was an unbelievable shot, but it was Alex Nedeljkovic being too far out of his crease, kind of being aggressive on the shot, and he couldn't make the save. Utah dominated the first period for a majority of the period. Like I said, for 10 minutes, the Penguins literally didn't have a shot on goal. They were so flat. It was getting ugly towards the end of the period. I'm seeing former Penguins like Ian Cole and John Marino and Oli Mata showing up, that defense for the Utah Hockey Club, and showing the Penguins how good they actually are and how good they had it. And you don't know how good you have it till it's gone. And now that they're all in Utah, well, they're playing really well for the Utah Hockey Club. And the Penguins need defense. And that defense that we have right now, probably one of the worst in the Sidney Crosby era, if I had to say. We go to the second period. Second period, we have a power play. Our second power play unit is not as good as the first. We already knew that. But oh my gosh, did they waste a power play opportunity. They couldn't get off the ice because they were maintaining possession in the offensive zone, but they also weren't creating anything. And it was really rough because it was a wasted power play. We didn't get any really key chances on that entire power play. And I'm actually questioning who's even on our second power play unit as far as the players that are put out there and personnel that Mike Sullivan chooses for that second power play unit. I think we could do a better job with who's on that power play to begin with. You know, Anthony Beauvillier out there on the power play. I mean, there's a couple guys that are a little bit questionable on the power play unit. First power play is fine. Second power play, questionable. And it showed up last night. Why? Just why? Great stretch pass by Ned to set up Sid a little bit after that power play. Ned decided, oh, I see they're trying to change. Utah was going for a line change. Sidney Crosby standing at the other blue line. He passed the puck up, and the Penguins got an odd man rush the other way. But Raquel got robbed by Connor Ingram. I mean, phenomenal save by Connor Ingram. He did that more than once, especially in the second period. And then Marcus Pettersson, with an absolute rocket from the point, went through, and we get a goal from a defenseman, something we haven't had very often this season. Pettersson gets the goal. Penguins are energized. Nola Chari absolutely lays a guy out. I'm like, wow, we're feeling ourselves. We're starting to find our game, get our legs under us. It was definitely the hit of the game by Achari. Set up a scoring chance, but not long after, Penguins being too aggressive. Defensemen are pinching, and Utah got behind them. The Penguins surrendered a breakaway. Utah takes advantage, and they score on the scoring chance, making it 2-1. And the Penguins keep testing Ingram, but he's ready. He's there. We're playing a little bit better than they are in the second period, but Ingram continues to make the saves. Raquel sent it to the wrong team in the defensive end. That was a really ugly pass by Rickard Raquel. But an unreal chance by Logan Cooley was denied by Nedeljkovic, and it was a lucky denial as well. Like, Logan Cooley, he's one of the most skilled players out there, and he almost took advantage of that opportunity. It took me until there were 4 minutes left in the second period to even notice Imama. I hadn't even seen him out there. I know they were saying that Crosby's line was out there pretty much every other shift because of all the weird stoppages times, but I didn't even notice the dude on the ice. So what I'm getting at is, are there other players in Wilkes-Barre who we're going to get to in just a second that could come up and take that spot and actually do something with it? That's all I'm saying. And then the Penguins trail through the second period. They look better in the second than the first. I'll give them credit. We go to the third period. We're almost through the recap, guys. Utah comes into the third period, guns a-blazing, and they're lighting up Nedeljkovic, testing him, and he's bailing the Penguins out again and again. Karlsson corralling a loose puck off the boards after a turnover, fast break opportunity, shoots the puck from a difficult angle, ripped it past Ingram to tie the game. I mean, Karlsson looked as good last night as I've seen him look as a Penguin. He had those ugly turnovers, maybe one or two the whole game, though. And overall, he was skating. He was moving his feet. That great shot. It's not an angle that the puck should go in. Ingram wasn't playing it correctly, but still, for Karlsson to find a spot and get that in the back of the net, you got to convert on those opportunities, right? He's down the edge of the circle. If you have that chance, you got to take the shot. He took the shot and he scored. And that's all that matters. You're getting the goal. It doesn't matter how it looks. It was a beautiful goal, I'll be honest, but it was a tough angle. So credit to Erik Karlsson for scoring that goal in the fast break. And it was Pittsburgh's first shot on goal of the third period. It took them like 6 minutes to get a shot on goal of the third period. Look at there. 6:17. What? I mean, he didn't have a shot on goal, and then Erik Karlsson ripped it right by. That's the only goal of the third period, ladies and gentlemen. So, offensive zone time, quality chances for Utah. Ned kept the game tied. Penguins turned it up late. Beauvillier, high danger area. Couldn't get his stick on it. Ended up kicking it on net like a soccer player. Wouldn't have counted anyways if it went in. And you get the feeling the next one will win it. You felt that in the third period. You're like, okay, for a while there, it's like the last 14 minutes, really, it's like next goal is going to win. This is, both these goalies are playing really well. Ned making the necessary saves. Utah was letting them rip. Penguins had a couple grade A chances in the final minutes. That's where they really started to find their game. It was like a final 2-ish minutes. Ingram, rock solid for Utah. So then we go to overtime. This is it, guys. We go to overtime. Ned makes a huge save for the Penguins. And, he's getting chopped at by Utah, and he's standing his ground. He's standing up for himself, and I like that. He has that edge to his game, and I like that a lot about Ned. Karlsson, Hayes, and Glass. Erik Karlsson, Kevin Hayes, Cody Glass stood out to me in that overtime period. They were keeping their feet moving and working, trying to find a way to win the game for the Penguins. Those three guys deserve a ton of credit for the way they played in overtime. I truly, truly mean that. Glass ended up getting an assist on the game winner. He drop passes it to Sidney Crosby, and guess what? Sidney Crosby, forehand to backhand, and he puts it past Connor Ingram. Beautiful goal by Sid. You saw a picture of it in the intro there. Sidney Crosby with his miraculous backhand. He does it time and time again. Best backhand in NHL history for my money, and he gets the game-winning goal. A perfect ending to the night. Sidney Crosby, the best player on the team, snapping the losing streak and giving the Penguins a big, much-needed W in overtime. His 95th career game-winning goal, and his 47th overtime point, which is the most in NHL history. It was also his 23rd overtime goal, which is second all-time to the great Alex Ovechkin, the great 8. So, man, the Penguins get a much-needed victory. Had to do a little bit of a recap there because it was such a big game for the Pittsburgh Penguins. There's so many things to point out, to look at moving forward, and that's essentially what went down. So let's get into the second chapter today, and that is, did we find a hidden gem? This is what you thought we were talking about based on the title to begin with, but I had to give you a game recap first, a rundown of what just went down. Well, now we can find out what went down with the Baby Penguins last night. They won 9-0 against the reigning back-to-back Calder Cup champion, the Hershey Bears. They beat them 9-0, guys. 9-0. Murashov shutout. Ponomarev, Koivunen went crazy. They went ludicrous last night. So now we have to show you exactly how it went down. The headlines are that the Penguins decimated the Bears 9-0. And we love that. We love that. If the playoffs started today for the AHL, the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins would be in. And they have the best win percentage in the Atlantic Division. I mean, it's awesome, guys. It's awesome to see our farm system finally starting to produce these young players that Kyle Dubas is getting back in returns for these trades that everybody's questioning are playing really well. And if you look at how well Wilkes-Barre has been playing, you feel hopeful about the future. This is our next Penguins. Our next wave of Pittsburgh Penguins is in the minors right now, and they're killing it. Our ECHL team is killing it too. I mean, it's going the right direction, right? Our NHL team might not be, peak right now. We're sitting at the bottom of the division. We're sitting at the bottom of the conference. We're not looking great. We're losing to teams we should beat. But the promising young players that could come up as the season goes on, like the prospect video I just made, or, just looking at what these kids are doing at the AHL level, it's so much hope. It gives us so much hope. And I love that. And, Koivunen and Ponomarev made the headlines. They were the stars of the game, really. They posted ridiculous numbers yet again. Koivunen's been doing it all year, though. That's the thing. I don't want you guys to get caught up in a 4-goal performance. I want you to know that this has been a thing. All season long, Ville Koivunen has been insane. He's been ridiculous. And I'll prove it to you. He is number 1 in the entire AHL for rookies in points. Number 1, over a point per game production. Well, almost. 35 and 37 games. And that's, I think, after last night. I hope they updated this, because this site was being weird. The AHL site's a little weirder. They were showing me the 23, 24 stats. I'm like, that's not right. So I had to switch it. Weird. Weird that it would default to last year. So if it's updated, that's it. If it's not, apologize. Then you look at assists. He's tied for first in assists by rookies in the AHL. I sorted by rookies because if you sort it overall, he still makes the list in both categories, but he's not number 1. So I want to show you guys that he is the best rookie in the AHL this year. He's probably going to be Rookie of the Year if he stays there for the rest of the year. He has been fantastic for the Wilkes-Barre Penguins. So it's worth mentioning that Ville Koivunen is one of our top prospects, the main piece of the Jake Guentzel trade. We talked about him a couple videos ago in the prospect update. He continues to do this, though. He was one of the most electric players overseas in Liga, and now he comes here, and he's dominating the AHL. I would call that dominating. I would, because as young as he is, and as little professional experience that he legitimately has, look at what he's doing. Look at what he's doing. I mean, our AHL team has these top-notch scorers for the AHL that we could just implement at some point. I'm ready to see a couple of these guys called up. I'm not saying you have to call up Koivunen right now. I'm saying look at the future. The future's bright with this kid. Ponomarev might be more NHL ready right now than Ville Koivunen. I would love to see him get a shot. And you guys have said that in the comment section as well. There's so many good young players on this AHL team. I say give him a crack at the lineup. Like I said, I didn't even notice Imama until 4 minutes left in the second period. That dude should not be in the NHL. Puljujarvi has had enough opportunities. I watched him again last night. That dude is not. No. There's a reason he was waived. Mike Sullivan lost trust in him. I'm saying lose trust in him again because he's not good. Okay, I wanted to give him a chance. He's not going to get it. He's not going to cut it here. He's not. No. Puljujarvi, no. Imama, no. We got 2 spots then. Trade Nieto, that's 3 spots. Trade Atari, that's 4 slots. We have spots to fill with actual good young players to get them NHL experience and to see what we have. We know what we have at the AHL level. If they're just going to put up 4 goals every night, what are we gaining from that? Yes, it's confidence. Yes, it's experience, but still, they should get at least a little bit of NHL action before the season's out. I'm not saying call them up right now. I'm saying you start making trades after the 4 Nations face-off. There's going to be an opportunity. I say give them that opportunity. They deserve it, okay? That's all I'm saying. They deserve a chance by the end of the season. That's the timetable I'm putting on it. So hopefully it happens. Hopefully Wilkes-Barre continues to kill it. Maybe we'll see them in the playoffs. Maybe they'll stay in Wilkes-Barre gets to the playoff, or come up and then get sent back down and try to win a Calder Cup. I'd love to watch that. I mean, hey, if the Penguins are eliminated come playoff time and Wilkes-Barre's playing, I'll be watching it. And I'll be keeping you guys in the loop. Absolutely. So thank you for watching this episode of Penguins Digest. Big win last night for the Penguins, and the baby Penguins decimating the back-to-back defending Calder Cup champion Hershey Bears 9-0, led by Willie Koivunen and Vasily Pomeroyev. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you on the next episode of Penguins Digest. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and we'll see you